able to manipulate the
Shit started being most and congratulations, Heart King, for taking the win on that one. Yeah,
great stuff.
looks like I think the next match is the one that Armin is the most excited
Ninja
to cast. It is Kasega versus Chasen?
Chizian.
Chizian.
So we got Zega, a.k.a. Mayzap. If you guys don't know the GOAT, the OG.
Mayzap has been playing since literally like the game released. And one thing to note here, this is another player, I feel like we have a lot of these on NA. This is another player playing from EU with over like 150 ping, but despite that, Mayzap, he does stream from time to time playing an RBF. One thing I do love about his playstyle is he plays a very controlled and slower playstyle, mainly out of necessity because of those ping differences. Now, you know, the name does hold a lot of aura, of course, and that might be a little intimidating, but Chizian has to remember, like, at the end of the day, you do have the ping advantage here, and there's little micro gaps that you can punish on versus Awakening on Awakening. So hopefully he doesn't get too in his head about that. It's still a really, really good player, and he should have just as much of a chance to take home the win today as Mayzap does.
Yeah, I do think when it comes to this matchup, you know, Mayzap versus Chizian. Chizian, while still playing for a long time, only really started doing a bunch of this PvP stuff, I think, maybe in the past 2 years. Mayzap, always been a prominent PvP player. Actually, funny enough, if you guys don't know, when I started the game, he was one of the people that first YouTube video I ever watched back in 2017.
Hey, there we go.
I was like, Mayzap. Everyone would say he's the best ninja, he's the best ninja. So this guy's been playing for a long time. But he's never really entered tournaments like that. Never ended up winning tournaments like that. And he wasn't even in the last best-in-class tournament. This is his first one that I believe he's coming into. And maybe he had been, but he didn't go far. But he's made it to the finals here, and he wants to get that dub. But Chizian, actually someone that I was helping out. I helped practice a little bit for these matches.
Okay, nice.
Giving a little bit of advice coming into this. You know, he's feeling nervous. He was like, my internet's going to spew out. You know,
that's actually the worst. That's actually the worst.
Worried about that kind of stuff. But funny enough, I actually do think that coming into this matchup, I'm favoring Chizian to win personally. Specifically, I think from a ping standpoint. Now, we don't talk about it very much, you know, in a lot of these instances, but Ninja is probably the class with the most skills constantly pumping out, and that ping can definitely be something that can bite you back. So, Mayzap, you're going to notice going into the matchup.
Chizian said in chat his router shut off an hour ago, which means, wait, no, that's good, Chizian, because it won't shut off now.
Well, we'll see if he manages to come back. We'll see if he manages to come back. But the main
close chat, close the stream, lock in.
The main thing that comes in is that when it comes to a lot of these matchups in these small scenarios, you're going to see Mayzap is going to try to play a lot slower. He's going to play a lot more for hitting specific skills like his Q slash, the shadow slash, playing around his core skill, and kind of playing to counterplay
What core skill, by the way?
Whereas Chizian might play a little bit more aggressive.
What core skill do you think they're going to be taking today?
100% is going to be Murderous Intent, the Shift LMB.
Hey, who knows? Katana Shower, you know, old Katana Shower core was kind of sick.
Yeah, well, that probably won't happen, mainly from a standpoint that it is very grabbable. Katana Shower.
For sure. Especially on Awakening.
Yeah, especially on Awakening. You can cancel out on Awakening out of the middle of the Katana Shower, so you can make it so that you're going to be completely safe in some instances. But the problem is that if you're just playing for the Katana Shower grab, you're playing purely to punish it, then you'll be completely fine on like getting the counterplay on it. It almost makes it like the other ninja can't even use it. So that's why these guys are going to play a lot more for Murderous. It's a lower cooldown, it's a stiffen, and it flows off your mobility so you can get behind those pesky frontal guards. Something that Awakening Ninja, it's kind of really one of the main only gaps these guys are going to be able to look for.
Which they can now cover up one of those being transition stance. Now they can instantly go into the iframe portion of that, correct?
Into Silent Charge,
Into Silent Charge,
So
correct.
the thing is that while in the past, a lot of the time you would have to go from your C-swap over into your Silent Charge, nowadays, instead of going from your C-swap into your Silent Charge, you can just do it purely from your pre-awakening, and the match is already underway. Placement, Smokescreen, he's going to go for the stomp right here, trading out with the flashing light. Smokescreen comes out from Mayzap. He's going to use his C-swap on the other side, so instead of using his seamless swap, instead he's going to play the neutral game, grab a tempo coming out from Mayzap. Actually, Chizian was almost on point with a Ghost Slash to try and punish it out, but is not going to manage to connect. C-swap, he's going to back up, use his transition sense frontal guard, try to reset the fight a little bit, and the Murderous Intent catch, and that's a slow play. I was talking about Chizian. If he goes too aggressive, and I think in that instance, he might have just gone a bit too much, he can get counterplayed very quickly, instantly V'd. He did not even want to risk the combo damage, and I think that may have been a mistake. Chizian definitely could try to play it a bit slower, let him do the combo, and see if Mayzap actually has the combo unlocked. Ninja combos Awakening are notoriously, both on Succession and Awakening, very hard. Awakening Ninja definitely has the damage to one combo you from full HP, but you need to make sure that combo is well practiced, otherwise you may not get the full extension and the proper routing that you need to get the damage up. Placement in the neutral game right here. Silent charge. He's going to go with the murders coming out from Chizian, block jump challenging it. If he holds that block jump for long enough, mayzap can maybe get caught while going to the C-swap that you can see him spamming out. This is kind of the old ninja playstyle. Good decap Q slash. He's going to use it from the pre-awakening. Did not manage to get the connection though. 2-minute timers. Zone is going to be closing out. Both players are going to take a little bit of reset, a little bit of a mental break, and they're going to get their 7 back before coming back in. Murderous 7 goes for the Ghost Slash over the opposite side. He could have gotten CC'd out of the gap on the end of that, but mayzap was not looking for it. Block jump comes out from mayzap. Instead, he's going to back up off of it. Does not want to play too aggressive. Blazeman goes for the Shadow Stomp right there. Q slash goes forward with the Ghost Slash, trying to go for a little bit of pressure. C-swap is just going to linger. mayzap now seeing the C-swap is going to push forward with the Stomp straight into the decap Q slash. C-swap over in the neutral game. Cutthroat. Smokescreen cannot CC off the Smokescreen though, and gets a grab onto the flashing light. Really good connection from Chizian, and he's going to force the V. Playing in the neutral game, Chizian is going to pre-buff with his attack speed right here. Murderous 7, blade spin into the smoke screen. mayzap is going to challenge it with his Q-swap into his stomp. Backs up, C-swap is going to go in the illusion. Double C-swap, double frontal guard right there. Could have definitely got punished out by mayzap with the block jump. You see, that's why Chizian instantly backed up and why mayzap had used his frontal guard or the block jump in the first place. Backs up with the silent charge, straight into that FG. If Chizian wanted to play a bit more aggressive, he could definitely go for a punisher, but both players, obviously the nerves are kicking in, so you need to be careful. Engaging in with the murderous intent. mayzap is going to read it and not get caught. Drastic measure, he cancels early, straight into the flashing light, so he cannot get grabbed out of it. Good timing coming out from mayzap right there. Goes for the murderous intent. Chizian tried to punish it with the smoke screen into the grab. Was just a bit too late. mayzap did go for a linger right there, but did not manage to get the punish. And then the mock explosion, another grab attempt, was just so close, but just a bit too far. Drastic measure. mayzap not going to go for any kind of pressure right here. And the block jump connection onto the C-swap. That's what Chizian's been looking for. And the combo's there off the Serpent's 3CC. Okay. The corrupt sword dance to finish. Chizian taking the first round.
Holy cow. High octane gameplay. And might I just add, that's the first. That was the very first round, but it was already very intense. Both players are trying to adjust to each other and see, like, picking and choosing, like, oh, how is he going to play this here? But ultimately, throughout this entire match, it's been very, very aggressive. And I'm even seeing some grabs that I'm perplexed to see that they're going for. But those are, like, pretty much the only opportunities you'll be able to find when things are going quick.
Yeah, and you can see already the way that Chizian won that last round, that block jump. When it comes to this final circle, when I was talking about C-swaps earlier, this is the prominent thing, like Chizian C-swapping right now. When it's a circle is smaller, block jump AoE gets bigger and really quickly before that happens. Murderous intent is getting the Q/slash punish. He got behind mayzap's frontal guard just barely, but the combo, he definitely has better combos in his pocket, but I think Chizian, due to cooldowns and starting off with his corrupt sword dance right there, the big the CC damage nuke, he was not able to get the punish. mayzap is going to come out. He's going to pop his E-buff. That big heal that you saw is Awakening Ninja's E-buff. 3-minute cooldown, but it does heal 5,000 HP on its pop, so you can definitely use that to save it for the end of circle and try to save it to maybe win off the HP trade. But both these players deciding to use it early, I'm not too sure if that's a correct decision, but we're going to have to see. Funny enough, it does have a stun attached to it, so you can use it as an actual CC catch. Oh no, mayzap, a little bit, I want to say nerves right there. Ghost creating, went into the C-swap, almost got punished by the block jump coming out of Chizian, but was just a little too fast for him. So Chizian, no punish, goes stomp straight into the decap Q-slash, is going to follow up with the murderous intent. That's all 3 of his protected CCs immediately thrown out. So you saw mayzap slowed it down a little bit right there. That's because he doesn't have any protected CCs anymore. He's going to slow it down, get his cooldowns back, and play the neutral game one more time. Malice comes in for the stomp, goes straight into the decap right there. Block jump's going to come out from mayzap, and he's going to get the connection on a Chizian's block jump. Chizian try to W, and when you block jump W, despite a lot of people thinking that block jump is protected CC, it is not. There is a gap. You can definitely get punished. You just have to know the timing. And speaking of timings, smokescreen, mayzap tried to go into concealment, I think, and unfortunately did not get the input off. He went unprotected for a second, and Chizian is immediately there with a murderous good check. This class is all about small gaps, small timing, small windows, and that's why to take and beat an Awakening Ninja in a 1v1, a lot of the time you need to be an Awakening Ninja, or at least know how this class works and functions. A-swap is going to be holding the neutral game. mayzap resetting the opposite side. They're taking their time. They want to get their stand back. They want to get their cooldowns back. Backs over the silent charge, going in with the murderous intent with their strain of the drastic measure. No CC attached because he's not using the core. The Q-slash, so going for the punish. Block him. He's going to be coming out from Chizian, so he's not going to get CC'd right there. C-swap. He's going into the Malice. mayzap popping a lot of frontal guards. Chizian could definitely look for the punishes right there, but does not want to go too over aggressive. Not looking for the smoke screen. Went for a shuriken toss right there. A little bit of a miss input. No punish coming out right there though. Block jump goes in the blade spin. No block, no grab opportunity coming out from mayzap. That ping denies him from going for grab opportunities. You can see already this entire match he has not popped any grabs, but he has popped the murderous intent. Good connection on the Chizian. Chizian with the C-swap got caught on the side, and he gets punished immediately.
All right, well, if you can't go for grab, you can go for wrap it around the frontal guard catches, right, Armin?
Yes, yes, you can definitely go for those, and that's why you run the Murderous Intent core. It lets you get behind those C-swaps. The movement is really good, and you can just go for those small clips, and that's the thing that mayzap is wanting to play for here. That's the thing that he has played with for years now, for almost 7 years that he's been playing this game. He is so used to trying to punish behind people's C-swaps, behind people's frontal guards since back in the day against every other class, that he's going to be very good at finding those instances. Awakening Ninja, a very different class from how he used to be back then, but that one essence, that one part still remains today. Playing the neutral game right here, C-swap pushes forward with the Ghost Slash, is trying to use it to go for the spacing. Spacing is so important. You can see these guys aren't going too far, not too close. They want to keep a minimal distance while they're going for these instances. Goes straight into the stomp, backs up with a flashing light, a tree swap into this Fairy Awakening, and he's going to get the catch off the Murderous Intent once again on the mayzap's side. But the combo goes in, and he did not expect to die. That is the combo I was telling you about. Chizian is so consistent with it. He gets a stiff in, he gets his DP down, gets the KD, and he's there with the follow-up on the ending where he goes into his Cutthroat, the Magnus skill, followed up by the Illusion of Restraint. And funny enough, it has a slow attach, so during the roll-up, sometimes the slow, it feels like it'll affect you a little bit. And as a result of that, mayzap gets caught while trying to iframe out. Now, potentially due to the ping, maybe he died while he was in iframe. Who knows? Maybe he would have stood up there. He did manage to get a hard aiming and a Malice off to go for that extra damage extension, but mayzap has to know these things. This is the challenges of playing such a high skill, high mechanic class on such a rough barrier kind of. So mayzap, aware of it, maybe it's the nerves, not too sure, but he needs to turn around right here, and you can see he's already playing a little more aggressive. Chizian playing a little more slower, goes in for the Q-Slash, drastic measure, going to challenge with the Q-Slash of his own. Chizian, this time, after learning from the second round, is not going to challenge it with the W block jump. Instead, he decided to wait until all the CC opportunities were gone before he went for any kind of exit. Holding out, there's a C-swap. mayzap's going to extend and engage with a Ninja Step straight into the Stomp. Chizian just backs up, he's just playing it really slow. Ghost Slash, and understands it's his turn now. Straight into the Blade Spin, comes down with the Murderous Intent, was just far off the mayzap, already spacing with a Murderous Intent of his own. C-swap, gets his pre-AP buff, gets his attack speed buff, holding the C-swap right there, comes in, drastic measure, challenging from mayzap. Q-Slash comes out of Chizian, and the grab onto the C-swap. Great block jump timing coming out from mayzap, forces the V, 2-minute timer, zone's going to close in, and no V available for Chizian. Next CC should be a kill as long as mayzap has a decent combo in his pocket. 80%, a lot easier for Ninja to finish off. Goes in, there's a Murderous Intent. Chizian's already spaced away into the Katana shot. Was a grab opportunity for mayzap if you want to look for it, but he does not want to go for any grabs. You can already see in this match, unless it's a guaranteed one off of something like a C-swap. Good timing right there. He tried to go Cutthroat into the grab. Good movement, but mayzap was already ready for it with the block jump. Could have gone for the punish, was just a little bit too late on the W engage right there from the block jump. Waiting out, Murderous Intent challenges with the Q side, drastic measure into Mock Explosion from the on the backside onto Chizian's back, but it was just a bit too far away to try and get the back attack damage. Holding it off, follows up with a flow severing to try and space out a little bit. Drastic measure, went from the Mock Explosion into the Q side. mayzap spaces away on the Ryan, but oh no! Chizian with a fatal error when raw surface, but he stood up, pops the E-buff for the heal, and he's gonna survive. mayzap could have killed, but the combo was just not enough, and he goes out of the grab to punish the Blazon. Such fast reactions, the smoke screen into the concealment for the grab punish, and mayzap, after a fatal choke coming out of Chizian on the misinput, did not get enough damage on the combo, and it turned from a misinput on Chizian's side to a fatal error on mayzap's side. We're down to no V, and mayzap playing for his tournament live. The Murderous Intent, and the final combo to finish it off. Chizian is going to be your Ninja Grand Finalist winner. Wow.
Wow. Are you good after that?
I'm feeling great.
The amount of skills that this guy can we, first of all, everyone, you know, I am a little sad that mayzap didn't, but Chizian definitely earned that. You could see that he was very well practiced, played that phenomenally. Armin, are you throwing out like 20 skills a second? Like luckily through all that. That is crazy. Yeah. One thing I do just amazed, and I'm sure chat was mentioning it too. They were like, this is such an anime battle-esque fight.
For sure.
There's like 4 skills being done like in a second, and it's just the amount of times you see them like in those little skirmishes up close. Honestly, one of the things I notice a lot, going for those grabs at those split second and then like dodging
you have
it.
to be so aware.
You have to be so aware. And seeing them, like it would be like mayzap, go for grab, miss, and then immediately Chizian, go for that grab, miss, and then dodge it. I'm like, holy, you two are like playing at 5,000 miles per hour, and that was so exciting to watch. But let's take a look at that bracket, ladies and gentlemen, because Chizian is going to be your Masterclass Ninja winner.
Yeah, and honestly, you just felt like the match was going at like 600 miles per hour. No one literally, I don't even think they used Katana Shower the whole time. It's just literally.
I saw Katana Shower a few times, but yeah, primarily we were using a Murderous Intent, Silent Charge. Like, yeah, there was so much going on.
And
but that was so
honestly,
exciting
I
to
feel
watch.
like the matchup could have ended up in a different manner because, like we saw from the, I think the 4th round there, or the 3rd round, correct me if I'm wrong, mayzap ended
The
up
last round, yeah, mayzap dropped the combo.
Well, I mean, not even that. He just greeted his V.
Also that.
Just not
Yeah.
understanding that he could definitely die in this combo here and just
You remember I
Like
told you
Armin
I
said,
practiced a little bit against him? Chizian, I was telling Etsu the other day, out of everyone that I'd seen in the Ninja brackets from the tournament, from start to finish, because I watched the whole brackets, he had the cleanest combo out of everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know,
been
while in
practicing
some
it.
other classes, I've said it actually throughout the past 2 days, combos are everything. If you can guarantee and ensure a kill from 100%, and in the case of Ninja, you saw how close it was. It was right when he was
Yep.
rolling up. If you can ensure that 100%, you might catch someone off guard, and you might kill them without them being. So that was really good stuff from Chizian, and I think the practice paid off.
Absolutely.
sure.
Real quick, but before we go on, I just want to say mayzap, I definitely think that in a lot of people's eyes, he deserved the win just for playing for long enough, but that's how tournaments work.
Hey.
It comes down, everyone's here to
Nothing
play.
is guaranteed.
And I do want to give big props to him, especially with all the adversity. And I said it from start to finish, the ping is something that's so hard on Ninja to deal with.
Yeah, especially with Ninja.
And he
Especially
still
with
plays
Ninja.
to this
And he
level
still plays at this
despite
level
that.
to this day. I definitely want to give a shout out to him. If you guys are looking for a Ninja streamer to ever check out, I recommend him highly. You can find his stream as well. It's super worth watching.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So once again, congratulations to Chizian. You are indeed the Masterclass Ninja champion. Let's go ahead and jump into the next class.